So, Alex here again, following on in the visualization series. In the last couple of videos, we were doing 8th ply, and most of the emphasis was just on following along. Some of you guys who are a little bit more advanced and were able to actually solve some of the puzzles that we put along the way, this is great, but in general, I wouldn't expect the viewer to solve it. It would be quite challenging. So for this video, we're going to try and knock down the difficulty level just a little bit by, instead of going for 8th ply, we'll try and solve positions from 6th ply. So we'll follow along 3 moves for each side, and then I will ask some questions and we'll see how the viewer does. So let's begin. The first 6 moves, or the first 6th ply, are e4, e5, d4, e takes d4, knight f3, and knight c6. Okay, let's put that position on the board. e4, e5, d4, e takes d4, knight to f3, and knight to c6. White then continued with bishop c4, knight f6, castle, bishop e7, knight takes d4, and knight takes d4. For those of you who have seen the last couple of videos, perhaps you notice that it is substantially easier, at least I feel, to follow with 6th ply versus with 8th ply. So let's put those moves on the board. Bishop c4, knight f6, castle, bishop e7, knight takes d4, and here black played knight takes d4. Okay, the next move for white was queen takes d4, d6, f4, b6, e5, and now black played a very bad move, d5. Can you figure out why this move, d5, was not a good idea for black? What should white do? So, for those of you who feel you're a little bit more advanced at visualization, you can take this position and from here on out, from your mind's eye, try to solve and figure out what is best for white. But that's going to require that you picture a position that is already 6th ply ahead, and then delve deeper into that. So that's going to require a few more plies still. The reason why visualization is so important is sometimes a line might require 20 ply, other times the line might only require 5 or 6 plies. So the better your visualization, the better that you're able to, let's say, cater to the demands of different positions. So let's now put the position on the board. Queen takes d4, d6, f4, b6, and here after e5, black now played the move d5. For those of you who were not able to picture the position earlier, feel free to pause the video once again and try to figure out from here how white can get a winning position. I will now call out the white moves which were correct. Here, white played bishop b5 check. In fact, capturing the knight immediately was also good, but bishop b5 check was played. Bishop d7, e takes f6, bishop c5. This is what black was counting on, pinning the white queen. But white played rook e1 check, and black played king f8. Can you picture that position on the board? Maybe you can figure out from that position how the game ended, how white was able to checkmate his opponent. Let's call out the moves again to give you another chance. So here, white played bishop b5 check. Black played bishop d7. E takes f6. Bishop c5. Rook e1 check. King f8. Can you see that position somewhat clearly in your mind? We'll go to that position in a second, but I'm going to ask another question. What would happen in the case of bishop b5 check, and here instead of bishop d7, the move knight d7? What would you play as white? Feel free to pause the video and figure out what is the best move there for white. I will now say what the best move is. Queen takes d5. The pawn would be undefended, and you would be attacking a black piece. Can you see what black piece you would be attacking? The answer is the rook on a8. Black would have to play a move like rook b8, and there, after rook to d1, the white position would be crushing as black's king would be unable to castle. Can you understand why black could not castle in that position? Let's put it on the board. Bishop b5 check. We know that black played bishop d7. If he had played knight d7, we said that after queen takes d5, a black piece would be attacked, the rook on a8. After rook b8, we said that white would play rook d1, and black would not be able to castle. The reason why is because if black castles, the knight on d7 would fall. It would be attacked by 3 white pieces and only defended by 2 black pieces. White could play bishop takes d7. So this position would also not be good for black. Let's bring the position back to bishop b5 check, and let's see what exactly happened in the game. So in the game, black blocked with the bishop. Bishop went to d7, and now white captured this knight on f6. Then I asked you guys that after the move bishop c5, white plays rook e1 check. It seems as if it's a disaster for white because he's losing his queen. But in fact now black cannot block with the bishop since his bishop is pinned. And so he must move the king back to f8. And now I had asked, could you see how white would win the game from here? Well, if you were able to solve it before, then very well done. Otherwise, I will show now, perhaps it's clearer. White can capture this pawn on g7 because the queen is supporting the pawn. Black can only go to g8, and now white can capture here and promote either to a queen or perhaps even to a rook will be checkmate. So that was the end of the game. Hopefully you found it a little bit easier to solve positions with 6-ply. If 6-ply is still too challenging, you can always test yourself by just pushing forward 4-ply or maybe even 3-ply and trying to picture that position in your mind. You can do this all the time. You can take, for example, friends' games or master level games or tactics puzzles or anything like that that will allow you to test your ability to hold positions that are further out, more and more moves out. And over time, your ability, if you practice it and you keep on practicing, your abilities will improve. So hope you enjoyed this video and are enjoying this series. That's it from me for this video, and hope to see you in the next one.